BMW calling. Hello. Hi Simon, how you doing? She's still alright this morning. Lord hell, so do you reckon 30 odd miles in total then? Bloody hell, and it's fine. What a result. Right, I'll come and get it then. I think that's it, isn't it? Trans fail-safe mode. Ha! I'm joking. Hopefully not. Anyway, let's start this thing up. Check brake linings. That's a new one. Wash your fluid. Why is it saying check brake linings? What's happening there? Turn off. Welcome to episode 5 of the BMW 7 Series, which I've just got back, seems to be working, from this amazing place. I mean, look at this here. So this is RSV BMW Specialists near Airbus, near Saltney. Sometimes it's a good idea to admit defeat and take it down to a specialist, because he says this is now fixed, and it has cost me £204. £204, and he's been speaking to me all the way, constantly keeping me updated. This is what we're thinking, this is what we're doing, what have you done to the car, blah 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 blah, all this good stuff. And he has, I mean, it's not on. Hopefully it'll stay off by the time we get back to the workshop, but and it's driving beautifully. This is brilliant. So I bet you're wanting to know what was actually wrong with it. But before I tell you what was actually wrong with this beautiful 7 Series, let's have a little look over the past 4 episodes and see exactly what I've had to do and what we've had to fix on this car to get it where it sits today, before we end up doing the last couple of little jobs. First thing was a brand new battery, then the driver's door wouldn't open, then the fuel pump didn't work, and every fuse in the car was corroded. All the wiring in the engine bay had to be checked over as mice had been in there. Plugs and coil packs needed to be checked. The compression was checked. The codes were read. The crank sensor was changed, and I snapped a bolt and I had to drill that bolt out and replace it. All the earths were checked. The throttle butterfly was completely seized shut and needed to be cleaned up and freed up. The air filter was completely destroyed. The gear shifter had snapped. I've never seen that before, so I couldn't get it out of park. The ECUs weren't communicating due to being corroded, so they were removed and cleaned. The gearbox and engine relays were burnt out. I've never seen that before either, so they were replaced. More corroded fuses were replaced, and only then did it start. Come on! Oh yes, you beauty! The locking wheel nut completely rusted away and dissolved, so I had to drill out all the old wheel bolts, the locking wheel bolts, and replace those. The passenger door was completely seized. The lock mechanism had seized solid, so I had to strip down the inside of the door while it was still closed and fix that. The alternator was dead, so a new one had to be fitted with a new belt. The new alternator kept throwing belts because it was almost a centimetre off from the old one. New plugs were fitted, oil changed and a new filter, and a new MAMMOTH sensor was fitted. And that was only in episode 1. But what about episode 2? Touched up some flaking paintwork, fitted a new second-hand BMW light control module to fix all the lights on the car, which Rob had to code with his laptop. Changed the faded and old headlights and indicators. The wipers and the rear lights also got the same treatment and were swapped out for brand new parts. Then it was time for new discs and pads, front and rear, plus nice little tidying jobs like number plate screws. It was then time to get the welder out and replace those rusty jacking points. A nice touch of new centre caps and wheel bolts. Then, through sheer willpower, we managed to get it through an MOT, but it sprang a coolant leak on the test and stopped running. So a second new fuel filter was fitted, a new radiator solved the coolant leak. Well, this coolant leak anyway. I then fitted a new air intake hose. While I was awaiting more parts, a brand new Extron stereo system was installed. A new gearbox filter, gasket and its first oil change. The bodywork got a proper buff and polish. A new bonnet cable was installed. New front control arms. The fuel tank had a leak, so some Isopon fuel tank stop leak came to the rescue. New shoelaces installed. And in the last episode, a new fan belt and idler was installed. The throttle was cleaned and freed off again, and Rob cleared more stuff with his laptop. The starter motor then died, so a new one was fitted. Several gearbox ECUs were fitted and tried. A new coolant reservoir was fitted, and that was the leak stopped. And lastly, we spent hours further cleaning all of the electrical connections under the bonnet and trying to code ECUs. So yeah, okay, I'll hold my hands up. 2 of the 576,000 faults that this car actually did have were down to me. I routed that belt incorrectly, which caused it to spit it off on the side of the motorway. Yeah, that's fine. That was my fault. That was my issue. And the gearbox oil level, yeah, totally my fault. I didn't know how to fill it properly, but now it's sorted and now it's done. All of the other faults though for this car were the car's fault. You know, it was down to the car. But not only that, I swear it was because it was sat on grass for so many years. I've resurrected a lot of cars in my life, and the ones that have been sat on grass, they're the ones that have given me the problems, including this. But now, well, she's all singing and all dancing. Almost. Right, where is she with this ice cold air conditioning? So even though it doesn't look like we need air conditioning today, I did think it was worth getting the AC done on this. And I think it was going to be worth getting it done properly rather than one of those little top-up cans, because it was just hot, wasn't it?
It wasn't doing anything at all. So we vacuumed it out, and it did have some gas left in it, about 200 grams. So obviously I hadn't leaked it all. So we did a vac test on it, and then it backed up all right. So we gassed it.
Did it hold pressure?
Hold pressure 20 minutes. So
20 minutes? Well, yeah, it might be all right then.
So yeah, so we ran it up. It ran cold yesterday, so we'll fire it up now and see what makes it work. Yeah,
let's see if it's cold now. Ice cold air conditioning in a car like this. It's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah. So like, it should be, but the pipes are going cold already, so that's a good sign.
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh man, it's ice cold in here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
Get a chill on that.
Obviously you can't feel it, but it is ice cold. Proper job, that, isn't it? Yeah. Nice. One step away from being like brand new, this thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, not far off at all.
Cheers, mate.
No matter, anytime.
Nice. I think that was worth doing. I think it was worth just spending the sort of 70 quid and getting like a proper everything sucked out new stuff put in. The aircon top-up cans that I do use, they're only for cars that could be a bit colder or just need a little top-up, but this probably hasn't had decent air conditioning for a very, very long time. So it's worth just, you know, this isn't just a quick, you know, will it run and drive. This has been a proper restoration of this BMW 7 Series, and I think for one of you guys who's going to own it, I think if it's properly minted out and all these jobs are done, it's going to be such a nice car for you, you know. And I take a bit of pride in knowing that when the car's moved on from me, it's really nice. The air conditioning is now ice cold, which makes it a much nicer place to be inside there. And we've got to fix these last couple of faults now. I think that's a big thing to get this thing over the line and turn it into the proper driving machine, ultimate driving machine even, you know, because it's a BMW. And then we'll finish it off and we'll make it all nice, and then one of you guys can win it for only £1. And this is how you can do that, right? There's a website address somewhere floating around above my head, and go on there and you'll see a link that says click here to enter the Tasty Classics car raffles, and you can win this car. You can come down to the workshop, meet me, see the place, see the Spitfire, the Rascal, take a little merch bundle home with you, all for £1. So go and do that while I get this thing up in the air, and then we will fix these last two little jobs. A lot of these massive saloon cars are quite sort of front wishbone reliant, and this one is no exception. And as I've been driving it round, I have been doing some miles in this car since it was MOT'd and since the gearbox was fixed, and it's got a clunk, it's got a hell of a knock from the front wheels, both sides. When you go over a bump, it's just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's got to a point now where it's pretty unbearable. So I've ordered a couple of things, which I think it is, and we're just going to get a pry bar underneath and have a little look ourselves. In one of the last episodes, we changed these control arms, but there's one more. There's this one here, this big thing, which goes from there into this big bush here. And I think this is what is causing the car to do a knock. Now, if we can focus just on this bit here, now look at that movement. That is a huge amount of movement. And another way you can tell that this might be the thing giving us the knock, look at how much the wheel moves, and it shouldn't do that. So every time I go over a bump, it's moving the entire wheel and knocking on this bush. But thankfully, I did buy a couple of these because I thought, well, there's only two things, so it's got to be this. You know, I did think it might be strut top mounts or something like that, but this is definitely the first place to check. And if we see this one here, you can see this one is exactly the same. So they need to be changed. Let's get them off and get them swapped over. So I've got two of these badges, and they look like this. It's pretty good, isn't it? Much more solid bushes and stuff, I hope. Let's put it on the car. Surely it's going to be so easy and straightforward. And what size is the nut? Oh my God, it's huge. Maybe Cinderella does want to go to the ball after all. God, that was just, maybe that was too easy. The size of that. Yeah, my Amiga was exactly the same as this, I remember. It was just, it was quite a front arm reliant type of machine, you know. It was a bit of a pain. You'd put new ones of these things on and then it'd just sort of go immediately. How am I gonna, would it be easier if I, no, okay. I can't get anything past it. I'm not taking the strut out, no way. The bigger the car, heavier everything is. That's made absolutely no difference whatsoever. Okay. Crush all my fingers. It's working, it's doing a millimetre at a time, but it's working. Whew. Okay, we're off. Now I've just got to sort of hit this until it all comes out and then take this bolt out and, oh, that bolt, why is it, what's happening? Okay. Oh. Look at the size of that bloody thing. It looks quite new, that as well, doesn't it? Which is quite nice. Right then. That was easy. Right, that's out. Old, sad, dead bush. Look at it, you can see me through it there, look. Right, out with the old, in with the new, installation, reverse, removal, whatever the Haynes says, and then I'll do this side. But while I'm doing this, why don't we have a look at the little road trips that I've been going on recently in this car. Gluten Morgan. I am in the BMW and it's day 4 of dailying it, which is pretty cool, isn't it? And guess what? There has been no transfer safe modes. I miss it. I really miss it. When wish it comes back. I just want to see it go bing, transfer. Oh, lovely. Feeling of home, like a warm hug. No. I'm driving to Altrincham this morning because I have a record shop in Altrincham, and I'm driving there to do some record shop related items, do some stuff, just help the guys out there. I spend a few hours there every week, just doing bits and bobs, so I'm going to go and do that this morning. And that's what this car was all about, was essentially my commute up to Altrincham. In the Porsche is great, but it's not very big in the Porsche, so I can't carry a lot of stuff back, and I've got a lot of bin bags and cardboard and stuff that I need to take back from there today. And the Discovery is great, but it's slow and big and a bit cumbersome, whereas this is my little stealth bomber, and it's perfection. I just love it. It's great. It's so smooth and so easy. I just drive. That wasn't transfer safe mode. I've got 2 pedals, and you only need 1 arm to steer it because it's feather light. It's got loads of power. So comfortable, so comfortable. I'm going to do the AC gas in this at some point because it needs sorting out. The stereo system that I put in this car is so good. I love the whole Apple, the Google CarPlay, whatever the hell it's called, and I'm going to get one of these for the 911. Definitely, because it's so nice to use. I don't have to touch my phone at all while I'm driving, and I think that's a good thing, really. But yeah, this is great. Let's mosey on up the M56 now in sheer comfort, listening to tunes. Great sound system, big comfy leather seats. The armrests are perfection. They're just at the perfect height for everything. And you can move that one backwards and forwards. Don't know why you'd want to, but you can. And that's what I like about this BMW. It's just the ultimate commuter vehicle. That's my parking space there. I'm just going to go and get the key to lower the post to park, and I don't leave it on these double yellow lines. Look how big it is. All the items I could fit inside that car, and I'm going to. Wonderfully restored, isn't it? It's immaculate, absolutely immaculate. This is my record shop here. Tasty Records in Altrincham, do absolutely everything. If you like records, come and get them from here. Brand new, second hand, best stuff. There you go. They keep asking me to do bits of promotion for them, so I'm doing it right now. There you go, look at all this. And if you've got a classic car that does cassette tapes, then you can buy cassette tapes from here too, to play in your classic car. It's fun doing these like little diary sort of bits, entries into this camera now for BMW 5 that's coming out in the future. I've just been doing the Audi 100 fuel tank, and it's the day when I gave up because we needed a new check valve thing and all this type of stuff, and faff. But it's that day, and because my back is in pleats from lifting that fuel tank in and out a couple of times, jumping in this car now with its automatic gearbox, big comfy relaxing seats, just cruising on home. I've just got 2 pedals to press. It's super easy, super straightforward, so nice. Because of that, this is why I've done all the work on this car. This is why I've done everything to it, just for this is what it's all about. I floated up to Altrincham, did all my stuff, floated back down, did all the work on the Audi, floating home again. Beautiful. What a dream to drive. It really is. Is it the ultimate driving machine? I'm sure that's what they used to say, isn't it? Might be right. Could this potentially be the last time I put my hands on this car in a fixing kind of way? God, I hope so. But when I picked this thing up, do you remember this happening? Check brake linings, that's a new one. So I bought this, which is a wear lead. So when your brake pads wear down, it touches this thing and it triggers that light. This one is knackered, and it's causing that light on the dashboard, which is really annoying. So I need to replace that, and as you can see, it's just all chopped to bits, and it slots into the brake pad there. So it should be a 2-minute fix, and it goes into this box here, nice and straightforward. I'm going to do that now and then put the car back on the ground, put the wheels on, all that good stuff, and we're going to see if it's fixed it. It has been a lovely car to drive. It genuinely has, just to do those sorts of little trips in. I've been very much enjoying it, and it's been a very tough decision to decide to raffle this thing off, but I think it is for the best. There is so many cool resurrections coming up on this channel. I just can't keep every car. It's one of those things, isn't it? Anyway, I'm putting some screen wash in it. The brake pad warning light thing still hasn't gone off, even though I've replaced the sensor. I'm gonna have a look at the back one as well, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that one, but I'm gonna have a look at it anyway, and we'll check it. All the brake pads and stuff are new, so I'll give that a go over. And if that doesn't fix it, then maybe it'll go off after a bit of a drive or something. I don't know. Well, it's a good job I checked the back as well, isn't it? Because, well, it's not supposed to look like that. So yeah, it's just completely dissolved for some reason in the back. All the pads and everything are still mint, you know, everything's beautiful, and you can see there's good sort of wear patterns and stuff on there. But yeah, that has dissolved. Fortunately, I thought ahead and I bought a rear one as well, just in case. And again, it's super easy, just goes in there and goes into that little box. So I'll get that changed as well then, shall I? Nice new cable fitted, and whee! Master mechanic. Possibly the easiest job in the world. But anyway, I think I've completely restored this BMW 7 Series. Should we take it out for a spin? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I am in full civilian clothes, and we're heading down to the petrol station to put some juice in this, and in Joe's car we're going to go and do some filming and just show you how good this thing is now. All that work's been done. It needs nothing. Well, a couple of minor little things. It keeps saying door open on that door there, but you can live with that, can't you? You know, it's a ball ache to sort out. But that's it, everything else is dead smart. There's nothing else that it wants. It drives beautifully. The knock has completely disappeared, thankfully. And the, you know, brake linings light has gone out. It's all got new bits. What a hell of a amount of work. Crazy, isn't it? It's worth mentioning as well, what I'd like to say is a massive thank you to Rob as well. Rob has put so many hours into this car, you know, for nothing really. I mean, I'm doing his engine for him on his Mazda, but like I'm not, he would have done it anyway. That was just a little gesture, you know. He would have done it anyway. But yeah, I'm just, massive thanks to him. It's been great, and without him, I don't think I could have got this far. I really, really don't. I possibly would have given up sooner without his input. Input is the BMW software that we used. Sometimes successfully, sometimes unsuccessfully. And another big shout out to RSV again, just being amazing and being a garage that just listens. You know, it's hard to find like a garage, you know, when you explain the situation, I've done all this, I've done all that, you know, and they're sort of using that information to help in their diagnostics and stuff. So they just did such a good job, and it's really, really worth giving them another shout out. I think, you know, they've really sort of made this thing very, very usable, and it is properly usable now. It's so nice to drive. The original idea behind this car when I first got it was that I was going to use it to keep miles off the 911. It was going to be something that I would go home and back in, and just ease of use, go to Altrincham and back, you know, do all these sort of just winter sort of hack jobs, you know, that this thing could be used for. But that hasn't worked out, and I think the reason it hasn't worked out is because I've spent so much time and so much money on it. It needs to move on to someone else. It really does. I've got so many resurrections in the pipeline. I've got, you know, they're stacked up with things that I want to do that are just going to be a lot more fun for me to film and a lot more enjoyable for you guys to watch, instead of just hammering away at the same old thing. And to do that, it just costs serious money. I'm so many hours and thousands of pounds into this car. It's unquantifiable, you know, and it's got to come from somewhere. So yeah, it's time to move this thing on. And again, if you want to own this car, it's put a quid in the machine, it might be you, you know. And if you want to help the channel in any other ways, you can as well, and help me get onto these new cars, and that is by going onto the Tasty Classics website, buying some of these cool stickers. You know, we've got some cool stuff. We've got t-shirts, we've got the trans failsafe mode line of merch, and it's all there waiting for you. So yeah, the BMW will live on some of your t-shirts and my t-shirts and some stickers on some cars and stuff. But this car now is going to live on for, it'll do another 200,000 miles. It's got so much new stuff in it, it'll just carry on forever. And the kickdown and the sport mode, I mean, I'm going to overtake this car now, watch. It absolutely flies, this thing. It's just, and then just knock it back over into drive and you're floating on a cloud again. What a cool bit of kit. I love it. Really smart car. I've also brought with me today, while we go for this little spin, the Tasty Classics stopwatch, and we will finally be putting this thing on the Tower of Power. I don't know how well it's going to do. It is an automatic, so off the line it's, you know, it's not the fastest, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. But we're going to find out very shortly. Just been waiting for some cows to cross the road from this field here. It's just quite a magical thing to see, isn't it? Like 50 cows being herded by one man. It's incredible. They could overthrow him. Why don't they try? Anyway, we're on our way to Demon Tweaks in Wrexham Industrial Estate. That's where we're heading off now. It's a little bit of a last sort of drive for me in this car, really, because once it goes up for raffle, they tend to just get polished up and put in the corner, waiting for one of you guys, rather than me risk driving it round and stoving it into a hedge or something like that. We're going to go there because I need to have a look at what aluminium fuel tanks they've got for the Panhard, because I'm going to put an alley fuel tank in the boot of the Panhard and run some new lines and stuff in it. Just to make that a little bit more reliable and turnkey. So we're just heading there now, and I'm looking for Tower of Power opportunities along the way, but the traffic, and why is there so many cyclists and cows, and God, what's going on? Have you ever wondered where a lot of your cereal comes from? It comes from this factory here in Wrexham. That's a massive Kellogg's factory. So if you're a cereal fan, that's where it comes from. I absolutely love it here. This is where you come if you want to spend all of your money. For an empty bank account, just come here. You can have everything you ever wanted. Joe's MX-5 could do with dragging through here, couldn't it? I don't know, fit a turbo to it or something. Let's have a look what they got. Yeah, they're a few quid, but boy oh boy do they do the good stuff. You know, stuff that's not going to fall apart. Lots of cool race cars and things in there. Very fortuitous and weird that they're both BMWs as well. Very strange, but nice to have a look around. So we're just on the way back to the workshop, and look what arrived in the post. And it's so weird. It is for people who watch the channel for a while and are wondering if they can have updates on things. As one story draws to a close, the story of the big Surrey 7 saga 7, you know, as that draws to an end, something else starts, and that right there, that is the V5 for the Volkswagen Beetle that we've been waiting for months, and it's been so hard to get. DVLA have been very intent on not giving me that paperwork, but I've been fighting them every step of the way. It's not on a Q plate or anything. OPA is on its proper plate, and I have the logbook, which is super cool. So I am going to be thinking now about starting that whole series and working my way through that car and getting it just the way that her indoors is going to love it, because that car is going to be for her and for me as well. It's a good excuse for me to see it every day. But yeah, I can't wait. Oh, and before anybody asks in the comments, but ask in the comments if you like, you can as well. That's no problem at all. Ask me anything in the comments. The Golf GTI episode 2 I'm currently filming at the same time as doing all this, which is why this video has been a little bit sporadic and all over the place. But yeah, that is properly on its way. So maybe next week, maybe the week after, depends how long it takes me to do. But what a cool little car that is turning out to be. Very, very smart. You'll be pleased to know that the fuel pump did arrive and has been fitted with all the correct fuel stuff. Got there in the end. Tasty Classics Tower of Power, where I pit all of my resurrection cars against one another on a 0 to 60 board. It's only for a bit of fun. I only use the 60 thing on the miles per hour gauge, and I just use my old stopwatch. It's only for a bit of fun, but it's really interesting, and it does. Well, sports mode. I just want to see how these cars do and how this thing is going to do, because it is a big old bus, you know, it's a heavy thing. I've watched the ramp sort of pull itself out of the ground every time I lift it up and down on it. It's also done 210,000 miles or 208,000 miles, but granted everything is pretty much new now. So yeah, how's it going to do? What do we think? We'll do a couple of runs and then we'll go back to the board and check it out. Got to wait for a proper clear in the traffic as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Come on, come on. At least I don't have to change gear in this one. I mean, I don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. What's the frame of reference? Well, let's do one more, just for posterity, and then we will find out. Sports mode, and for this one as well, because I am on a little bit of gravel, I'm turning the traction control off, just so it doesn't cut any power, you know, if we do get into a wheel spin situation. Which it could do, because it's fast car. 3, 2, 1. No wheel spin. Pretty much within 0.05 of a second of the other one that I just did. That's amazing, isn't it? Wow. Right, okay, we'll head back to the workshop and we'll see exactly where that sits on the board. But that was the closest ever 2 runs I think I've ever done. The average would be almost exactly the same. Right, let's get back to the workshop, show you around this thing properly, and see how fast it is. Do you like this new couch, by the way, in the workshop? It's pretty cool, isn't it? BMW 728i 1998. Where do you think it came? On the Tasty Classics 0 to 60 lap time Tower of Power. Be fun to do a lap time in if it probably wasn't automatic, and the automatic gearbox has definitely had an effect, but also the fact that it's a very heavy car. Is it on this side? No, it is not on this side. It has made it onto side B, I'm calling that, which is where the slower cars live. It's just pipped the Vauxhall Frontera, which was also an automatic, but it did have probably weighed about the same, and it was a 3 litre V6, that thing. Anyway, it's made it into 14th position at 10.29 seconds to 60. First BMW on the wall, hopefully not the last. The Surrey 7 saga has come to an end, and I hope you've enjoyed this massive series of videos on this car. It's been a huge amount of work, and it's definitely not put me off BMWs. I've had BMWs for years. I know what they're like. They just, you know, they need a bit of work sometimes. This one needed a lot of work. Sitting on grass, not good. Anyway, it's fixed now, and it's mint. It's properly nice. The paintwork on the roof still could, you know, be better. I tried buffing it as much as I could, but could be better. The parking sensors don't work, and the door, it thinks that door's open all the time, but it isn't. But apart from that, it's spot on, and it'll probably do another couple of 100,000 miles. She's an absolute beauty, this thing, and I will genuinely be sad to see this car go. But there's lots of other great cars out there waiting for the Tasty Classics treatment. And if you have enjoyed seeing this, hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave me a comment, all that sort of stuff. Let me know what other BMWs you might like to see in the future. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, which is probably going to be Golf 2 or maybe even Beetle 2. See you soon. Bye. Just quickly as well before you go, look at these things in the door handles. I only noticed this the other day when I was sort of taking it home, but yeah, all the door handles have little lights in. What a lovely little feature that is. Dead cool, isn't it?